So a lot of talk is kind of happening right now, and Xbox is actually doing well with some announcements and winning some awards and things. I think Indiana Jones has gone a long way, despite the fact that it's not an exclusive. I still really think that it's one of those situations where we see that it's doing extremely well for Xbox and helping Xbox in a number of ways. I mean, we saw that it reached number two on like NPD sales and things like that, which is phenomenal for a Game Pass game and things like that. And we continue to see Microsoft maybe take some chances there. So I hope to see that before too long. I mean, it proves that maybe you can have some success with some exclusive things, and I hope that that's the main thing that Microsoft kind of takes from that. I would love to see them just continue to do that. So we'll see what's up. Anyway, I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I certainly appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel and it means a lot to me personally. Happy New Year, all that kind of good stuff. Hope you guys all had a good holiday. If you're still in there, it's kind of running low on the holidays that we celebrate, but hey, stay safe, all that kind of good stuff. I do daily gaming content. If you didn't know, now you know. At least a video a day, sometimes two. The only thing I ask in return is a simple like. So anyway, the folks at Digital Foundry are doing their Best Graphics of the Year awards, and two Xbox games are right up there. The Digital Foundry team sharing their notes about the most technologically impressive games of the year, and in a huge video they go into a big discussion about it. And there's a top three. There's a unanimous agreement in the placing of Star Wars Outlaws as the number 3 position. The game is lauded for bringing the lived-in Star Wars aesthetic to gaming in a brilliant manner, powered by Ubisoft's state-of-the-art Snowdrop engine. From a technological standpoint, the use of ray tracing, reflection, global illumination, and shadows is a remarkable achievement, bearing in mind that relatively limited ray tracing hardware available on consoles. The fact that PC version also has pathed ray tracing alternative for higher end hardware is a cherry on top. Where the opinion is divided on is placing in the top 2 games, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Obviously, from a gameplay perspective, Machine Games game is a clear winner, but that's obviously not the focus of Digital Foundry's Best Graphics of 2024 discussion. Hellblade 2 was lauded for its astonishing character work and virtual camera, to the point where some environments look almost indistinguishable from real-life footage. The scope is far more limited than Indiana Jones, but it also makes for a tight, commendable level of consistency, quality across the experience. It's a heavy game, but also surprisingly scalable. Hellblade 2 can run on a Steam Deck, while at 30 frames per second limit on consoles is surpassed on some capable PCs. The teams ultimately agreed that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle should take the Graphics of the Year accolade. The sheer quality and quantity of objects and environments are remarkable, while the utilization of good quality ray trace global illumination on all console versions and high resolution on Series X can't be ignored. So again, I would agree with that, but we're starting to finally see Xbox kind of come into its own, which I think is, extremely good thing to see. Obviously, we want to see Microsoft continue to, do things that get people excited about their platform, and it did take time, right? It did take time, but it does look like finally, and I know people are tired of hearing that, but it does seem like people are finally at that point where they're getting the gains from Microsoft. We're starting to see more and more of that come about, and at the end of the day, you can't really go wrong there. You know what I mean? I'm not finished with the game yet. I'm kind of savoring the flavor, whatever the case may be, but it's still a breathtaking game, such a fun game, such a great game, especially if you're a fan of that series. It's it feels like an Indiana Jones game, and you can't really say enough good things about that. I feel like that's just a probably exactly what they were going for, and that's awesome. I mean, rarely do you see a game that's going for something and then also manages to achieve it the way that it did. Now, I certainly wouldn't have picked Star Wars Outlaws to be in the running for any graphical achievements. I don't know, that's just the main characters, in my opinion, throws that a wrench into that plan, in my opinion. But I played both Hellblade 2 and Indiana Jones. I think Hellblade 2 looks phenomenal. Indiana Jones is a much more vast world, a much more open world. Hellblade 2, I think, also looks really great, but obviously is much more limited in what you do. And I felt like that game maybe took a little bit of a step back from what we were getting in the first game, and considering the amount of developers that had increased for that game, the budget increased, the development time increased, the money, everything increased, and yet the game itself seemingly didn't exactly increase in its ability to be able to do something that we had never seen before. So that's kind of like where I'm at with that. I think it's a solid outing for sure. It certainly looks good, but I think the most important thing here is that 2 of the 3 games for best graphics are Xbox, and that's something that I think we've been waiting for. I think in particular Machine Games really cooked, and like good for them. I feel like that is excellent. That's cool that they finally were able to kind of go out there and do something that that gets people excited about the Xbox. It's like more than about time. To be completely honest with you, like we've all been waiting for that to happen. It took a long time, probably longer than any of us expected, but finally, it looks like some games are kind of doing that. And the fact that they managed to do all the stuff that they did just goes to show that I would, like, if I were Microsoft, I would be treating them with kid gloves, because that is a company that knows how to make the most out of your hardware, and you have to be able to do that when you're selling hardware, in my opinion. So it's just one of those things that honestly, you got to really kind of have something that showcases what you can do, and it gets everybody excited about what you're offering. So that the 2 games are, 2 Xbox games are in the top spot of best graphics, I think says a ton. The fact that the game is effectively locked at a perfect 60 frames is another feather in the cap for Machine Games. Impressed by how everything scales and things like that. Ultimately, why the panel gave the nod to Indy, while Hellblade 2 barely puts a pixel wrong in what Ninja Theory set out to achieve. There are hard limits. No support for hardware accelerated ray tracing, for example. Indiana Jones provides that in spectacular style while taking it to the next level with full ray tracing upgrade. Again, I just think the fact that Machine Games got 60 frames and ray tracing and all this stuff on the Series S and the X, it just goes to show that they've been able to kind of a champion what they were looking to do, and I love that. So, we'll see what happens in the future with this. But like I said, I'm very excited to see what the future holds for Xbox Series X. Regardless of what happens, I do feel like, we're set. If you have an Xbox, and I've mentioned this numerous times, you're pretty much set. You don't have to get rid of your Xbox. You don't have to do anything like that. You're good. You just have to kind of keep at it and understand that you're going to get all the games that Microsoft puts out. You're going to get them on Game Pass if that's the way you choose. There's very little risk involved. Like, if you do think that Xbox is going to go out of business, then just use Game Pass. Then that's rent it, and you don't really lose anything. If they do fold up or whatever the case may be, it's just something that could likely, saves you a little bit of money. So, like I said, going into next year, it's clearly a fantastic, huge year for Xbox, and we'll see if they continue to kind of get things, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm all for Microsoft, branching out a little bit, but I still think you need to keep like the exclusives, some exclusive and things like that. In particular, that stuff that you've really worked hard on to build your brand on, the Halo, Fable, Gears, Forza, all that kind of stuff. I feel like definitely needs to stay exclusive. Now, again, I think that's probably, people all have different thoughts and opinions on this stuff, where it comes from or whatever. But for me, I think that it's super important if you're selling hardware, you got to be into it and actually want to give people a reason to buy it and stuff. So, you know, hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from with that. But finally, able to see Xbox games top some graphical standpoint lists, I think really goes to show how far they've come. Let me know what you guys think down below, though. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.